was muted. I was driving home and there was a dog on the road. It was a little like white husky looking thing. You know, of course I waited for it to move. I gave it a little honk, but when I honked, it started to move before it like left over the ridge to go out into like the big dirt path with a bunch of bushes and trees. It stood on its hind legs, looked me in the eyes, and with a voice that echoed in my head, it spoke my full name in every language conceivable. So that happened. Anyway, we're using these. Wow. Damn, I didn't even know. Maybe I'm joining one in progress, but I checked the mission module. I didn't see any damnations that didn't have a modifier on it. Oh well, no, I don't really care.
You'll find it at consignment yard Sigma 57. Secure the area and await reinforcements.
Yeah, we do got one of each. Hashtag diversity.
You how badly we need those supplies.
Oh. You know, so as I said in the last video, or the whatever, Target was closed on Easter, right? Makes sense, cool. What doesn't make sense is why do we get 2 loads the day before Easter to cover for the day of Easter? We don't, that's not, who's buying product that we have to replace on Easter to get 2 loads worth? Because now I have 3 loads sitting in my fridge because there's too much shit to do. Now it's put me behind, and my boss is still being a dumbass. Anyway. Why do I think this is am I crazy? Is this shooting faster? Maybe it's because I'm playing Deep Rock and the minigun there revs up real slow. I don't think I accidentally brought the Krork. So my game audio is real loud. There we are.
Judgment has been delivered. There is no.
Ugh. You know, there's some monster going to my gym lately that literally maxes out all the machines. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, they max out at like 300 pounds, but nonetheless, terrifying. Bonk. Got him. Oh. You know, California had some flooding issues over the month of March, January, February, because we had a bunch of rain, like way more rain than normal. Like Midwest Seattle levels of rain. It was like, whew. And Californians think they're safe, right? Because, oh, it's warming up. You know, the rain, we're not really going to get any rain. Just wait. Just wait until all that snow on the mountain melts. Just wait for it. There's a, like California used to have one of the largest lakes in the country. It was like Lake Tallulah, something with a T. Anyway, it was like dried up, completely dried up, and it's back now. It rained so much that it's backed, and a bunch of places, like people and business, like a bunch of buildings were in the riverbed. They're just completely flooded now because the fucking lake is back, which is like a huge win for Mother Nature, you know? Sucks for those people, but you know what? I think more water on the planet, the better, because it's gonna be heating up, because climate change. Yippee! And like climate change deniers will be like, oh, but China emits more emissions. Yeah, but America does more per capita. You know how much emissions a single household does? It's insane. And like this idea of, oh, China's emissions are worse overall. That way we can be as dirty as we want. It's like, oh, they spilled the ketchup, but so that means I can spill the mustard because it's not, it doesn't, or let me flip that around. Oh, they spilled the mustard, so I can spill the ketchup because it doesn't stain as bad. Like, come on. Are we really using that argument? Oh. Die, foul creatures. Yes, sell it. Hit them with your hammer. Oh, since I said the thing about climate change, and that's like a hot take, and speaking of hot takes, Twitter, yay, more Twitter. I saw a, why am I getting shot from? Oh, you, stop. Took way too much fucking damage there, because I didn't see that guy, he was blended in, the camo. And it was name one thing that is most misconstrued by one of your favorite characters. And I have to say one of mine is, hello? Is that she gets mistaken as just female Deadpool. That's what like people who don't read any of her comic books think of her. And if, for those of you who don't know, it's Gwenpool. Now if you don't know, it's not Gwenpool like P-O-O-L. I mean that's her like hero name, but her actual name is Gwenpool with an E, like P-O-O-L-E, Gwenpool. She's Gwen Stacy from real life. That's like her story essentially. And in the recent story, I don't know how recent, like her, I think it was her initial comic book, which is one of my favorite Marvel comic series, maybe ever. She has Doctor Strange like rewrite her story, or she rewrites her own story with the help of Doctor Strange, where she just gets turned to an Omega level mutant, because her whole bit is like that kind of fourth wall breaking like comic book thing, where she can jump between the panels and shit. And it's really dope as shit, and it's cute, and it's fun. She has obviously Gwenpool, she shows up in a few other mutants, but most notably she shows up in West Coast Avengers. Which is a pretty good comic strip. It's got Hawkeye, Miss America, some other Omega level mutant that she kind of hate fucks a lot, which is great. And then, who else? I don't remember. But yeah, Gwenpool's great. But you know, it's funny about the thing where she's like, she's not just female Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool knew she was from the real world, because like he has that like kind of knowledge, because he's silly. Ow! No, I'm the Emperor's tastiest toddler. But she met up with Deadpool. I was like, you know what? Nah, I never really liked the Deadpool comics, and Deadpool was very offended. It was very funny. Yeah, I love Gwenpool. She's great. Wish we got more with her, to be honest. I should catch up on West Coast Avengers. It's been a long time, like a couple years since I read it. Give me an excuse to read it again. Poggers.
I have heard dark tidings.
Dark Tidings. That's the name of the game. Paul, he said it. Oh, I've got a heartburn. Ugh. Wow. Die, heretic. Idiot. Die, fool. Rock and stone. A demon host, you might say. A host of the demons. Sorry, I'm just stretching my bones. And to return to hot takes. Okay, let's be careful with the plasma gun. I saw a really bad take that was like, oh, you think all games are political? Just say that you hate escapism. Which is a silly thing to say. No, I took damage. Now, when the phrase, oh, everything's political means, yes, something may not have an inherently political message or political intent, but there are political messages that can be ascertained from it. Like, for example, Darktide itself, not political, right? There's no, like, political message here. It's not like, oh, anti-imperialism, anti-fascism. It's not, you know, it's not this, that, the other. But, as we all know, 40K, the setting, is incredibly political. It's fascist, capitalistic, xenophobic, religiphobic, you know, shit like that. Well, for the most part. Unless you're the correct one. Which isn't, like, a bad thing, right? It's literally, like, an exaggeration of the genre. But like a more like clear example would be a game like Stardew Valley. No political message really there, but there is a sort of a storyline in the game where it's like, oh, it's a farmer, you, versus like this company that wants to take over your farm. This like superstore that wants to take over your farm and be like the only source of goods for the people in town, right? They want to create a monopoly on like the farm. Is that like the main message of the game? No, but it's a little message in the game, and you can infer it from the game. Or like an even vaguer example would be something like Barbie's Dream House, or Bobby's Dream Horse, whatever you want to call it. Is the horse political? No, but is Barbie's long-term effects on children and how they view themselves could be a political talking point? Absolutely. But at the same time, there's a point where it's like, yeah, sure, everything can be political. That doesn't mean we need to analyze it like that, you know? Like a game like oh my, no, Atomic Hearts. Very political game, right? It's literally like USSR wins, you know? Or like Bioshock, incredibly political. Fallout, incredibly political. Metal Gear Solid, all of them, incredibly political. But a game like, I'm trying to think of something similar. Oh, Devil May Cry, not really political, right? Not at all. You just don't need to find a political message in it. I'm sure that you could find some political message in it, right? But it's not really there. And the idea of like to go searching for one doesn't mean if you enjoy political messaging in game, that's fine. I enjoy it too sometimes, right? Where I'm like, oh man, that says something. Or like one of my favorite games is Life is Strange, right? Which isn't really, I guess it's kind of political. In the sense of, well, I don't know how political it can be, but it's probably some political inference there that's like teachers and the power they have over students and this, that, the other. And you know, sometimes cops just not doing their job as college girls go missing like every fucking week there. Also hashtag Bay before the Bay, you know what I'm saying? I gotta finish reading the comics actually, I have all of them. But I will say that even though there can be political messaging in everything, I'm actually gonna walk that back and say there can be political messaging in most things, but not everything is political. You can find political messaging in everything, but not everything has some sort of political message, even if it's underlying. Like an example, like a picture of Saber from Fate eating a burger. That's not political. Someone will try to say, oh, it's because Burger King, expansionism, capitalism, Japanese character, Japanese anime, British character, American company. No, it's just because Saber likes burgers and the joke is that the Burger King. Right? Finding a political message where there's no political message to be found is almost more annoying than people who say not everything has to be political. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, someone get it moving. Cover! Fucking grenade!
I kind of lost my point halfway through there, but I think I rolled it back. To wrap it up, just because everything can have a political message to it doesn't mean that everything is itself inherently political. And then there's some things where there is no political message to be found, and you're picking at straws. Like, in very rare cases, though, are there like, oh, there's no political message. You're like, if I do a drawing of an Among Us character, there's no political messaging there, right? Like the political messaging of Among Us is don't trust your friends, right? But also, to keep on this point, when a character gets revealed to be like gay, trans, pan, whatever, this, that, the other, the people are like, okay, but how does this affect the gameplay? I want to put you in a blender and then pour you down the sink. Shut up, that's so annoying. It's such a brain dead, like, haha, gotcha take. Okay, representation matters. Like, you know, like, you may not think it matters because most people who have that opinion either A, are socially inept or are part of the majority group, you know. Now, there are some minority groups who genuinely have that opinion, and I think that's like, I mean, you can have that opinion no matter what. I'm not saying just because you're a majority doesn't mean you can have the opinion that sexuality and stuff doesn't matter. But the majority of minorities say representation matters, right? And it's like, okay, if it doesn't affect the gameplay, why are you making a comment about it? You know? The biggest example was like Lifeweaver in the new Overwatch patch, who is, he. When I think Overwatch, I think of the women in it, so my head goes to she, who's a pansexual person from Thailand. Thailand? Yes, Thailand. Part of my brain wanted to say the Philippines, but that's not right. And a bunch of people are like, oh, why does it matter if he's pan? Now, there's a bit of a joke that Blizzard had another lawsuit thing not too long, so they announced the pan character, which is a way too often occurring thing for it to be coincidental. And knowing Blizzard's history with, you know, anything, it's not surprising that they do that. But ignoring that for now, just to continue on my point. is that representation matters to people, and when people want to play games, they want to see someone they can play in them. Like a big example is Bridget from Guilty Gear Strive, where she was announced as trans, and now a bunch of dude bros like, oh, that goes against her story, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Read the story. It's about accepting who you are, yourself for who you are, not accepting yourself as a manly man. If you don't find yourself as happy as a manly man, you figure, I was more happy when I was a woman. That's fine. And there's a difference between your parents raising you as a woman to keep you safe from superstition, and then you choosing to be one yourself. You know. It's a big difference, and then, but dude bro gamers have no, they don't have an idea, right? Or like another good example. Well, I guess Overwatch has a lot of diversity, but that is also like the whole point, right? They're heroes from all over the fucking world. Like Tracer. Tracer was lesbian. She's not one of the first lesbian characters in the game, but everyone kind of knew she was lesbian from the get-go. I mean, come on, look at her. And that was huge. But then when 76 got announced as gay, that one was kind of controversial because it was like, okay, well, Soldier seemed like a straight guy, right? But gay people were probably like, oh shit, Soldier's gay? Hell yeah. Although there's a part of me like, man, the announcement for Soldier being gay kind of sucked. Not that the concept of him being gay sucked, it's just how they announced it was just bad. Like, the comic just wasn't as good as the Tracer comic. I guess because the Tracer comic was a holiday comic. It was like kind of cute, more wholesome, and Soldier 76's story is generally just sad. Well, like League, when oh my god, it took League forever to fucking do anything homosexual. Jesus Christ. With Nico, Leona and Diana, TF and Graves, and people are like, oh well. I guess what I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to transition to is the argument of, oh, why don't you just make new characters gay? Like, yeah, or like new gay characters, you could, but at the same time, you know, it's like this idea that, oh, you have to be new to be different, right? You have to be this completely brand new thing added. And let's be real, if they were added, like all the dude bro gamers that were complaining about Soldier being gay would just have a different argument, right? People like to see characters that they love representing them in some way. You know, be it skin color, be it who they are as a person, be it their sexuality, be it their identity, anything like that. People like that. Representation matters, right? And if a Overwatch account is making a social post about a character, yeah, that's fine, because the gameplay comes in a gameplay reveal later. I'm gonna deal with this dog. Kind of rambled on there, and I don't really know if I held towards a point beyond representation matters, but nonetheless, I'm right.
Looks like a switch. Tougher than you, more like.
Ow, I'm getting my ass beat. But yeah, I'm just thinking about, you know, that comment I made where like, man, it took League forever to do anything gay. I was like, wow. That is so true, because what, Nico came out in 2016, and that was like the first gay character we had, right? I don't even think we have a gay male in League yet. Well, no, we do. I'm sorry, we have Graves. Twisted Fate is bi, because I'm pretty sure it's still canon that he banged Evelyn and lived somehow, because he's fucking Giga Chad. Also, here's another hot take. I think there's a... This is going to sound really weird, and I hope I can phrase it correctly. There's a certain... I don't want to say privilege, but there's a certain... What's the term? It's not privilege, it's a certain giving to lesbians, or more easier acceptance to lesbians than there are gay men, because dude bro gamers find lesbians hot, right? Like and that's why I think there's a majority of lesbian characters in games, because it's like you can play it off like, oh, girls kissing, that's hot. You know, that's so epic. I don't know why I threw that. I just kind of wanted to waste a box to refill them. And it kind of sucks, and I think more companies should just need to buckle up and drop, like, some gay dudes, you know? At least, like, Overwatch Team, right? Because I think there's, jokes aside about the Blizzard having a lawsuit and announcing a gay character, I think the Overwatch Team does do a good job at representing all identities. Oh god, I'm praising Overwatch. What does this world come to? I think a lot of other companies are kind of, game companies that is, right? And I speak nothing about drink companies because they don't make characters. They make beers and stuff. Who are you? Oh my god, the yawn came out of nowhere. Essentially, game companies are too cowardly to make gay men. Because they're like, oh god. You know, the dude bros. They'll be mad. Bros will play Metal Gear Solid series and be like, bro, I'm not gay. Come on, bro. You know, speaking of representation, I think one of my favorite jokes is that, like, Disney will make, like, they made Ariel blank, which I'm not, like, complaining about. I don't really give a shit. I think it's more of a sin that it's a live-action movie in general than the skin color of the actor of playing a magical fish lady. How's funny, like, oh, these companies will make these characters, like, black or Hispanic or anything like that to try to, like, provide representation, so like girls can look at see themselves, and not provide so girls can see themselves in the character, which I guess is representation, but you know what I'm saying. But then it's like, you know, Hispanic and black kids will look at Goku and be like, he's literally me. And that's the beauty of Dragon Ball, baby. Okay. Ow, I'm getting murdered from all sides. Res me, my king. Thank you. Oh my. Jesus, die. Holy moly. I need to watch the original Dragon Ball series again. I watched it when I was a kid, and I don't remember much about it. Oh, speaking of Dragon Ball, WatchMojo did like a video like, oh, top 10 most annoying voices in anime. And they had the audacity to disrespect the Japanese VA for Goku. That lady is the greatest in the world, and I love her very much. How dare you disrespect her, WatchMojo? You will pay for this sin. They're like, oh, but, you know, going Super Saiyan, isn't that cool when it's a high-pitched roar? No, it's fucking badass. Full love for Goku's English VA. I love the... Dragon Ball dub is on the Cowboy Bebop levels of good, right? It is good. Although I wouldn't say it's better than Japanese dub. The Japanese dub has a lot of charm to it, like the Japanese VA. Hold on, let me find her name. I actually have it on a Discord because I shared the article and said we got a pipe bomb WatchMojo in Minecraft. Don't hurt me, please. Don't hurt me, please. Dude, you know what else has been infecting my Instagram reel and Twitter and stuff? This goofy-eye cat, bro. It's like this cat that's been photoshopped to have a man's face and it's going singing, so wake me up when it's all over. I cannot escape it. I think I saw 50 videos of it today alone on my 15. I was like, let me, free me. What is her name? Masako Nozawa, Goku's voice actor. Like, how dare you disrespect that beautiful, beautiful lady. I used to watch WatchMojo a lot as a kid. I don't know why. It just something about it was appealing. I don't even remember. I couldn't name you a WatchMojo video. Oh, actually I could. I probably could, because I remember the top 10 sexiest anime women. That's probably a video. Top 10 biggest booba in anime. That's probably a video. Top 10 best bikini scenes in anime and manga. You know. Top 10 rage scenes. WatchMojo. I feel like there was a big time when top 10 videos were like the fucking meta, right? That was like the YouTube meta. Pardon my French. I don't know if I've sworn for the rest of the video. That was like the meta for a hot minute. It was like top 10 this, top 10 that. Also, WatchMojo has a bad habit of stealing or taking YouTube content without permission. At least I don't know if it's a bad back in the day, but I remember multiple times this YouTuber who was in a Discord I was in. He was like a smaller YouTuber. He kind of blew up around Overwatch, but then he kind of like fell off again, which is unfortunate because I think he's a good guy. He had like 6 videos, WatchMojo videos with him in it, and they never asked him once. Like his footage in it for like Monster Hunter games in it, and they never asked him once. They credited him at least, but like, come on, bro, cut my boy in on the dough. I love the heavy stubber because I can just do this. I agree, Buck. Stupid gum, stupid gun, stupid ammo. Hold on here. So wake me up now. Oh, I fucked up. I don't know if I can do it on the Ogryn. Might be a bit too big. You can get up on that Medicaid station if you surf the rail. Jeez. Honestly, I don't remember what happened during that mission at all. I was too much in my own head talking. Oh, 710 plasteel, love it. Ooh, blast boom grenade launcher, love it. Alrighty, well, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mother, but you better have brushed your teeth. Have a good one. I snapped to add a little pizzazz to the outro. I probably won't ever do it again.